What are the biggest challenges facing the Ukrainian community in Ghent?
I think now, especially after the full-scale invasion, our community became pretty big, and it consists of various groups that have very different interests and maybe even agendas. So it's pretty scattered. I would say the main challenge is that it's pretty scattered, and like probably everyone is Ukrainian and identifies as Ukrainian, surely, but there's no, let's say, coordination, real coordination, and work towards like one goal.
So what is the challenge?
So the challenge is that it's really scattered and it's not united to work together to actually help Ukrainians, to help us grow Ukrainian children in Ukrainian culture and tradition, to promote it, to show kind of unified voice to the community, to Ghent itself, to Gentian.
Is it easy to maintain the Ukrainian language for your kid in a multilingual environment?
I think it is very difficult. It is much more difficult for kids because they naturally would choose a language that they spend the most time with, which in case of a kid who goes to school would naturally be Dutch or then French.
How important is it for you that your child maintains the connection with Ukraine and Ukrainian identity?
It's extremely important for me because it's a very big part of myself and my identity, and I would really want that it stays the same for my child because it's something that will connect us throughout life.
How has the war affected your personal life and scientific work, like the full-scale war?
It became extremely difficult to focus because, like, whatever you do, you just cannot forget that there is war. You just cannot forget that there's war going on in your home country, and you cannot go back to your hometown. I mean, I'm quite lucky that my hometown is not affected directly. It's not destroyed. It's a town that there were almost no bombardments at all. But still, you cannot go there. You know that a lot of places that you've seen are destroyed, and just these images are inscribed in your imagination, in your brain, and like whatever you do from time to time you remember about that, and that absolutely, like, it, you just cannot focus on anything because you don't understand, like, why would it matter to do this if there's actually war going on and people are dying.
How has Belgian society's attitude towards Ukrainians changed since the full-scale invasion began till now?
I was actually very pleasantly surprised, I'd say, with the warmth, how Belgians reacted to the war. Like, I received so many messages of support from a lot of people I knew here. They knew I'm very that being Ukrainian is important for me. They knew that before, and like really almost everyone I knew here wrote me a message of support. And then I heard about some other people that they just like were scared to write me. They didn't know what to write, but they really wanted to also say that to me. I was very pleasantly surprised to that. But then still, like if I would meet other people, like neighbors or just people on the street, everyone was very understanding. I was very impressed by that.
But Has the attitude towards Ukrainians, like in general, changed somehow since the beginning of war?
I mean, I think like a few people didn't know about Ukrainians at all, I would say, and that's what surprised me, that people accept now Ukrainians fully as their European peers, but like just before that they didn't know much about them. It was just one of these Eastern European nations whom we don't know anything about. I mean, a lot of people just really told me, like, somehow at school or in the history lessons, we just don't know anything about Eastern Europe. We don't know what's the difference between Poland or Slovakia or Czech Republic. And now all of a sudden everyone knows about Ukraine and actually really actively supports Ukraine. I was so impressed when people were, just ordinary people, were accepting refugees at home, like total strangers, because they understood these are our people and they need help.